wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Next, we head north to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Antonio Brown, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend of the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So that'll back him up 5.
10 for 10. 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 10 for
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. This is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set him back 5. Right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And they're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
This is not the way to start a drive. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. is not the way to start a drive. So that one will be accepted. Right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
This is not the way to start a drive. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay. Cook following the penalty. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here.
75 yards rushing for him in this one, and he is drawing ever closer to a 2,000-yard season.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Still going. They can't stop it. And way up past the 35 before